Splatoon 3 is on the horizon, and right now I've been wondering to myself, what maps from Splatoon 1 and 2 could actually make a comeback to Splatoon 3? There's a lot of potential here and so many maps that are really beloved by fans that definitely could make a comeback. So I've decided to take a look at 5 stages or maps, whatever you want to call them, that could return to Splatoon 3 upon launch or maybe even in a future update. So let's take a look. Mako Mart is definitely a given for Splatoon 3, I think. It was only introduced in Splatoon 2, so it makes sense for them to put it in at least 2 Splatoon games, and it fits so perfectly with the theming of Splatoon 3, at least by the looks of it. You know, we've got this bustling city metropolis. What types of stores would you have there? Of course, you have something like Mako Mart. Maybe they could change it slightly to kind of fit more with the new type of environment that it's in, but it's still very similar, and I think this would fit in so perfectly in Splatoon 3, so I really hope this one does return. I remember this one being a lot of fun to play as well, just one of the more enjoyable stages to actually play through, so it would be great to see it come to the game, hopefully early on as well, because in Splatoon 2, we only got it in the 2.0 update, which I guess didn't take that long to come out, but still, I would like to have this from launch of the game. I mean, it's already designed, isn't it? So we potentially could see this one come back, I think. Maury Towers is such a great and iconic map. It is genuinely my favorite map in all of Splatoon, and it was actually added into the initial release of Splatoon 2, so I do think we could see a similar thing happen in Splatoon 3. Now the question is, if these stages have already been in 2 games, so they were in the first one and the second one, will Nintendo have them be in 3 games, or do they think that players may get tired of them? This is something that's going to be very interesting to see. Now, personally, I think they probably will lean more towards having Splatoon 2 exclusive courses in this game, and then obviously new ones from Splatoon 3. Maybe like 1 or 2 from Splatoon 1, but not half as many as we saw in Splatoon 2. I think they want to make it feel, you know, a bit more separate from the first game, definitely, when it came out so long ago now. So I don't think we're going to see many, but if there's any that should make it in my opinion, Maury Towers has to be one. It is probably one of the most iconic Splatoon courses, stages, maps, whatever you want to call it, of all time, so we really do need this one to come back. I'm fairly confident that new Albacore Hotel will make a comeback in Splatoon 3. It just makes sense, once again, like the first item on this list. It was introduced in Splatoon 2, so again, I can see them doing that where they want to bring more Splatoon courses back to the game, Splatoon 2 courses specifically, I should say. And this one would fit in so perfectly with the sort of world that they've got going on in that game. So I definitely think we will see this one make a comeback. I didn't really play this one very much, I won't lie, but it's one that I do know of really well from seeing other people play it, and I really want to get into this one more myself since I did miss out on it a bit in Splatoon 2, so hopefully if it does come to Splatoon 3, it'll be something that we see kind of early on. Wahoo World is another one of those stages that I didn't really get to play very much in Splatoon 2, so I'd love it to come back, and I really do think this one will return. Again, it's another stage that was exclusive to Splatoon 2, and I think this one has the perfect potential to come back since it fits in so well with how Splatoon 3 is looking. Now, this stage could definitely be updated a lot in Splatoon 3, I feel. There's a lot of improvements that could be made here. From when I've played on it, it hasn't been one of my absolute favorites. You know, I don't feel like it's one of the most memorable Splatoon courses of all time, though that may be due to the fact that it did come out so late in Splatoon 2's lifespan. But I do still think it is a pretty good course. You know, it's more on the interesting side. Some courses can feel a bit monotonous, whereas Wahoo World, I feel like there's a lot more interesting potential there. So I would love to see it get updated more and more, and I can't wait to play this one if it does come back. For the final item on this list, I want to talk about Hammerhead Bridge, which is a really great stage that I definitely think should return in Splatoon 3. I really love this stage. I miss it a lot, you know. The fact that we haven't seen it in Splatoon 2 definitely made me quite sad. I really did want this one to make a comeback, but I definitely think there's potential for this one to return. I don't know if it didn't return in Splatoon 2 because maybe they didn't like it, or they just didn't feel it was a good enough fit for the game, or what. I really don't know, but it does make me feel like because we haven't seen it in so long, you know, it was introduced in 2015, I think we could see it come back, and this was definitely a fun course to play. Now, I'm not sure if it'd be the most popular one to return out of the ones that we haven't seen in quite a while from Splatoon 1 and I guess to an extent Splatoon 2, but I do think it has a good place in the game. The Hammerhead Bridge feels very fitting. You know, you have big bridges by city metropolises, so it would be a really nice addition to the game in my opinion. So what do you think? Let me know which of these maps you think could actually return to Splatoon 3 or any others that you would like to see come back to the game. It'd definitely be great to see all of the past maps make a comeback, but if they're going to select a few, I definitely hope they pick some from this list. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more Nintendo content.